Greetings, greetings. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. Again, I'm having a bit of technical challenges this morning. I can't get that sound to go off, and I have a very important video I want to share. But why don't I go ahead and in, introduce myself and let everybody know what's going on. I am Dr. Daphne Clarke-Hudson. I am a spiritual healer. I am your why and soul purpose coach, consultant, and mentor. I encourage you to kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel. Connect with me on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and and that noise is so distracting to me. Oh, please accept my apology. On my newsletter, sign up for my newsletter on my website. And for this conversation, I found a video that I want to share with you. We want to talk about the power of our breath. I saw someone on on YouTube. I can't get that sound off, and there's no one at the desk to come down and help. So I'm doing my best to see what we can do here. So somebody's there. Tell me how you are with the sound, if the sound is very loud. And if it is, I'll have to do it. I can't unplug it because I don't know where it's plugged. Oh, it's such a challenge this morning. So I am this research that I want to share on the power of breathing is coming from conscious breathing. Discover the power of your breath. And there's a video interview that I would like to share. However, before I get to that, I want to share something here with you. Discover the power of your breath. We spend an enormous amount of money on the quest for improving our looks, our health, our energy, and weight, and even our sex lives. But the fact is, we already have the secret key to all of those things, and it doesn't have to cost us a single penny. The key of better looks, greater sex, improved health, reduced stress, and a trimmer economic body lies in something that is such a natural and fundamental part of our lives that we rarely even think about it. Do you know what this is? It's our breathing. And here to tell us about this secret key to reshape our looks and our body, our health, and our weight is Sweden author and founder of Conscious Breathing method. Anderson Olson, Anders, Anders, and the last name is spelled Olsson. To describe yourself as a passionate Sweden breather nerd who thinks he can change the world into a more loving community by inspiring people to improve their breathing habits, and you actually once ran a half a marathon with duct tape over your mouth just to show that it is possible to run while only breathing through your nose. Topic includes hormonal imbalances, pain management, asthma, sports and mental, and even sex life. In our breath lies the power to change our life. Okay, so I am going to play the video and I hope you can hear it.
Your mouth, just to show that it's possible to run while only breathing through the nose. Tell us more about this.
Well, there you got it, the breathing nerd, right? Well, I discovered a number of years ago, I read a book about breathing, and I was working with health at the time. But reading the book, I realized, oh, wow, this is the key, the foundation. Without breath and without proper breathing habits, that's a foundation to achieve good health. And if we want it without improving our breathing, it's a much tougher journey to get there.
You know, people talk about breathing a lot in meditation, in yoga, etc. But having read your book, it seems that we've all got it wrong. You know, the breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth is wrong.
Yeah, true. The nose is for breathing, the mouth is for eating. So the inhale is through the nose and the exhale is through the nose. But I think there are many exercises with they want to achieve different things. But with conscious breathing, we talk about our daily breathing habits outside of the exercise. How do you breathe when you're a carpenter hitting the nail, or when you're a cashier and handling your customers?
You know, you're the founder of Conscious Breathing, which is a method that you teach in online seminars and to individuals, sports therapists, coaches, yoga teachers, doctors, and individuals. And you're the author of The Power of Your Breath, which, when I read it, astonished me because I had no idea that the way I breathe can actually affect the shape of my face, my weight, my immune system, even my sex drive. So I want to know more about these and other effects. So let's start with bone structure and face shape. Tell us how breathing affects that.
Well, maybe it sounds a bit too good to be true, but I try to prove that there is a close connection with these things we just mentioned and our breath. So, for example, when it comes to our teeth and our face and our smile, it is because we have the greatest phrases with us all the time, our tongue. And because we swallow about 2,000 times each day, and if the tongue is located in the roof of the mouth, the tongue is then pressed upwards, stimulating the maxilla. And that is a bone that goes here from under the nose and out to our cheeks and under our eyes. So 2/3 of our eyes is resting in the maxilla, this bone. So when we stimulate this bone with our tongue, it stimulates to grow in width and forward. But when we are mouth breathing, which many of us are doing today, because that's a stress reaction, and I don't think I have to mention that many of us are stressed today. So, for example, oh, what was that? Oh, a text message. We're kind of altering our breathing pattern, and usually our mouth goes open. And the more we do that, it becomes a habit, and we become habitual mouth breathers. So what happens with our tongue is that it goes down in the bottom of the mouth. So it doesn't stimulate the maxilla. So instead of growing widely and forward, it becomes narrow and grow backwards actually. So that's why our teeth, they are formed around the tongue like a U shape. But if the tongue is not there as a counterweight, the muscles in the lips and the cheek will push the teeth inwards. So we may have to pull teeth because there is not enough room for them.
You know, I was gobsmacked when I saw the pictures in your book of some children whose faces had been distorted by breathing through their mouths at night. We're going to show these pictures now. First, we're going to pull up the picture of the little girl, Anders. Can you tell us what happened here? I mean, we have pictures of her at age 5 and age 7. We're looking at her teeth and they're completely different. And her face.
Yes, because she's not using her tongue properly, and probably she also has incorrect swallowing patterns, because there are really powerful muscles here in our mouth. That's why braces work. You know, we only apply a small effort over a long time, and then we can move the teeth with the braces. But when we are using our muscles in the cheek and tongue and lips in the wrong way, when we are swallowing, because maybe we are tense, stressed, you can easily see that if you start to monitor it when, you know, people do with their mouth different things when they are under stress. And,
we actually saw in that picture that her front teeth in her gums, you know, were completely arched, which they weren't when she was 5 years old. And when she's 5, she's got a little heart-shaped face. But at age 7, it looks like something's happening to her chin.
Yeah, that's how it is. That's mainly the maxilla, and then also the chin. It follows the development of the maxilla. So if we have the mouth open a lot, the chin has no point of reference on how to grow and develop. So we may get a receding chin because we have our mouth open too much.
Well, we've got some pictures we're going to show now of a little boy at various ages, and we can see how his chin begins to completely change shape. I think we've got those pictures coming up now. I don't know what age he is here, but by the time we get to the third picture, his whole face has changed. His chin has dropped completely away. I mean, it's amazing that just something like breathing can do this.
Yeah, so the first picture is 10, and when he was 14, he got a gurgle, and he developed an allergy and got a stuffy nose. So he became a habitual mouth breather. So you can see the effect there when he's 17.
Wow, amazing. So tell us about weight. How does breathing affect our weight?
Yes, I'm a bit surprised. I have not found any diet or weight loss program yet that has improved breathing habits as a key ingredient, because if we have impaired breathing habits, we are depriving our body of oxygen, and in order to be able to burn fat, oxygen has to be present. So when we deprive our body of oxygen, we make it harder for our body to burn fat.
So what about sex life then? How is breathing affecting my sex life?
Yeah, well, that's interesting.
It is.
There was a research done many years ago, and they got the Nobel Prize, 3 American researchers, for their research on a gas called nitric oxide. And their research led to the development of Viagra, the sex enhancement drug. And the nitric oxide, it actually helps to dilate the blood vessels surrounding our sex organs. So men can get an erection, and women can get the clitoris filled with blood. And this gas, NO, it's produced in the nose in huge quantities. So when we're breathing in through our nose, the air is spiked with NO, and it follows the breath down into our lungs and then further out into our blood. So when we inhale through our mouth, we miss the spiking effect of NO has, and we basically deprive our body, we lower the NO reserves in our body. So a research they did on a group of men that had nasal polyps, which means they have outgrowths in the nose, making it very hard to breathe through the nose. So they become mouth breathers. So in the group where they had nasal polyps, 34% of them had erectile dysfunction. And in the control group, there were only 3%. So when they surgically removed these nasal polyps, the figure dropped from 34% to 10%.
Wow. So, in fact, you're saying then that men might not need Viagra if they were to start taping their mouths at night and breathing through their nose.
Yeah, exactly. So and there is another connection. We have erectile tissue in the nose and in our sex organs. So, yeah, there is definitely a connection. And I mean, you can look in any book on tantric sex, and you will find that breathing is the key. It's the most important thing.
Wow, I didn't know that. What about pain? How can breathing correctly or taping one's mouth at night, which you advocate to help people retrain their breathing, how can that help with pain?
Yeah, if you think about it, what happens with our breath when we experience pain? We hurt our foot or our knee. We get pain, we get stiff, and we alter our breathing pattern. It's like usually we're holding our breath, or we may start to hyperventilate because we get afraid as well. We may have been bitten by a dog or something, or we're about to get an injection, or we're lying there in the dental chair. So we can, with our breath, either increase pain or we can also decrease it. So when we tense up or when we get afraid, we also get a tense breathing, and thereby we increase our pain. So next time you're in the dental chair, try to breathe slow and low and rhythmically in and out through your nose, and you will have a completely different experience. I wouldn't say that it's pleasant, but it's really less frightening, less hurting.
I mean, there are umpteen things that breathing through your nose can actually help with. Blood pressure and sleep. What do you do for sleep? I mean, is it the same as you just described, that, you know, in the dentist chair, that you just breathe more slowly?
Well, when we are at rest and have our mouth open, that automatically means that we are doing a low-grade form of hyperventilation. And hyperventilation means that we are depriving our body of oxygen to some extent. And think about it, we take about 1,000 breaths each hour, and we sleep for like 7, 8, 9 hours. So that's quite a number of breaths. And if we with each breath breathe, even if it's just a little, it means that over time we're depriving our body of oxygen, and then we don't get the deep sleep we need. We don't get the ability to heal and repair. So we may wake up tired. We may wake up with the dry mouth, or we have nightmares, or we have restless sleep, or we wake up and need to go to the toilet several times per night. And the reason for this is that we upset the oxygen carbon dioxide balance. And we may have heard that oxygen is the good thing. Bring it on. That's what we want. Carbon dioxide, that's the waste product. Get rid of that. But most things in life, it's about balance. A car needs gas, but if it gets too little, just as our body, if it gets too little oxygen, we die. And the car, too little gas, it will stop. But too much as well will make the car to stop. And too much oxygen is not good for us. And actually, we are only using a very small portion of the oxygen we take in at rest. A normal breathing volume is around 6 liters per minute. And in that volume, we only use a quarter of the oxygen we take in. The rest is exhaled. So many of us, when we overbreathe, we take 10, 12, 15 liters per minute, which is like overeating, having double breakfast and 3 lunches and 4 dinners, which is crazy, of course. So there is no need to take in the extra oxygen. But the thing is, with carbon dioxide, it's produced in our body, and by exhaling too much, we lower the levels of carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide has many effects in the body, and it, for example, it helps to unload the oxygen from the blood and, for example, then oxygenate our brain. So if we have poor breathing habits, we will get a more stressed brain, which can explain this nightmares or restless sleep. So a study I did on 8 healthy individuals, they blocked their nose so they could only breathe through their mouth. All of them developed snoring the first night. One developed sleep apnea, and all of them had restless sleep and woke up tired and felt that this is not the thing. So taping your mouth, of course, that's the opposite then. You tape your mouth and thereby securing that your mouth is closed and you only breathe through your nose.
Well, I mean, I can understand about taping your mouth to try and retrain your breathing and help your sex life, but it's not very romantic, is it?
No, it isn't. Like we make it up for a better sex life than.
So, if somebody was to tape their mouth for, I don't know, several weeks and improve their breathing, could they then stop taping it, or do they have to keep on wearing the tape?
That's a good question. Myself, but of course I'm biased. I'm doing this for a living. I've taped my mouth now for 5 years, but I don't plan to do it for the rest of my life. And now and then I try. Okay, I skip the tape for a week, but usually I tend to see after a few days. No, I really want it. I like it, so I'm continuing. But having said that, I think that if you, for example, you go out to start jogging because you will attend a race in 3 months, and you prepare yourself and you jog and you do the race, and you feel that I'm feeling quite good of doing this jogging. Will you stop after the race, or maybe there is a chance that you will continue? So I think the question, I get that a lot, do I really need to have it to do this? But once people start to experience the benefit, it's really not a question, because it takes 3 seconds to apply it, and it's really there. So it makes your breathing work for you instead of against you.
Well, it might also make you look like you've been kidnapped and trussed up.
True, yeah.
Well, I guess if you live on your own, it's okay. But if anyone else is around, they could get a little bit scared. So when you taped your mouth and ran that marathon, how did you feel?
Well, I got the idea only 28 days before, so I wasn't really fit enough to do it. But and it was a bit stressful because I've been on the newspapers and the day before, and in the morning I woke up having slept a bit poorly. I guess I was a bit stressed up about the race, and I felt probably I got much to lose here. Because the radio and newspaper thing, I didn't succeed. They would be on me. But I did very well. It was no problem. I had a mouth tape all race, and I didn't drink anything because I wanted also to prove that when we breathe out through our mouth, we lose a lot of water. Research showed that we lose 42% more water exhaling through our mouth compared to exhaling through our nose. So I felt really good. It was worth it because I got a lot of attention, and that was only the reason why I did it. I wanted people who do sports to think about, how do I breathe? And what I found is that no one does it. No one cares about their breathing, even how fit they are. It's amazing because it's a foundation for oxygenating your muscles so they can go on for long, or oxygenating your brain so you can concentrate, like in golf or in tennis.
I guess it's like driving, you get to the point where you've done it so often that you're basically in a trance when you're driving. You forget about it. So Tell me, how can we test our breathing? How do I know whether I'm breathing correctly or not?
I have a test on my website. I call it the breathing in. It's 20 questions, you answer. So it's like assess your breathing.
So people can go onto your website and they can test their breathing through that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. And who are you teaching this method to? Who are you finding is getting the most benefit from it?
Well, since I believe that our breath is really a reflection of both our minds, our thoughts, our emotions, and our physical bodies. So whatever issue I have, if I want to be able to concentrate more, or if I have asthma or high blood pressure, that is, I call it a vicious circle. And the breathing, impaired breathing, is always a part of that vicious circle. So you can, whatever problem you have, you can always benefit from improving your breathing.
But are you finding that it's yoga teachers or, sports coaches that are coming to you to become trained to teach their clients how to breathe?
It's really a big variance, all from people who just want to improve their own breathing habits, to massage therapists, to sports coaches, yes, and doctors and physiotherapists.
And do you
They can have it as a useful piece of the puzzle, even if they are a physiotherapist, for example, or massage therapist. They can benefit from having this understanding. A massage therapist will be able to reach much deeper if they have good breathing patterns while doing their massage, and if they also instruct their client to improve their breathing while lying there, it would be beneficial for both of them.
tell us a couple of the stories from people who've used this? I mean, do you have any remarkable stories to share?
Well, one comes to mind, a guy who called me a few days ago, who tried it out at the gym. Probably he was inspired by my mouth taping. That is not normally something I recommend. But he was able to increase his weightlifting capacity doing some leg exercise. He was able to do 400 kilos, and then he came down to the gym with his mouth tape, and then he had to go down to 300 kilos. But within 3 weeks, he had increased 25%. So he was up from 400 to 500 kilos, and that's a lot. That's really a lot. With his mouth tape and with his ability to recover between the exercises, just standing up straight and breathing calmly. And the gym didn't have more than 500 kilos, so he said probably he could have done more. So that's one thing. And another thing is when people have poor health, for example, poor sleep. One woman, she said, I was really skeptical. My mother gave me your book, and I read it, really skeptical. But then I came to the page about taping my mouth. Usually it's the opposite. Taping the mouth is the thing that scares people the most. But she was 50, and for 30 years she had big sleeping problems. So she decided to try the tape. And after 4 weeks, she contacted me and she said, "You know what? This is amazing. I've slept more full nights in these 4 weeks than I've done in 30 years combined. With this simple thing, applying the tape, I'm shocked."
Wow. So you offer conscious breathing retraining to individuals as well as others, professionals?
Yes, yeah.
And do you certify people?
I do, yeah, with the instructor course. They are mainly professional. And then I have a basic course where there are more people addressing their own health issues.
Now, do you have to be present to do that, or do you offer online?
I offer online courses. Yeah.
You do. So people can find out more by visiting your website.
Yes, there are ongoing courses.
Okay, so last question, Anders. How would you say this knowledge has changed your life?
Oh, big time. That's the reason why I'm so passionate about it. I found the key to lower my inner stress. I think I'm born with in turbo mode. I would probably get a diagnosis of HDAD or something, but it wasn't really invented when I was a child. So all my life I've had this racing mind, more or less. And I've tried a number of things, but improving my breathing habits has by far been the most effective thing to lower this inner stress. And also, I've had a lot of fears, worry, and looking back, I can see that they have controlled my life. I based my decisions on and trying to avoid things I've been afraid of. And again, the breathing low and slow and rhythmically in and out through your nose has helped me get rid of a lot of these fears as well.
Anders, it's fascinating information. Thank you very much for joining us today, and I wish you every success with the book.
Thank you, Sandy.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Wow. Did you know all that? I certainly didn't. Stay tuned. We'll be back in a moment.
Yeah, so well, that is very interesting. Nisi, I want to thank you for want to thank you for coming. Let me try to turn this off. This was so interesting to me. Thank you for coming. And I am so interested. I have to take this course because it is going to enhance my life and the life of all of my people. So stay tuned, guys. Stay tuned as I get more information about this breathing tips to protect us against all of the things that we have been depriving ourselves from. So I am going to I'm so tickled pink about this information. And the book is conscious breathing. I am putting the information in the comments here. CONSCIOUS, conscious breathing. BREATHTH, conscious breathing. Conscious breathing by an A-N, his name is Anders, Anders Olson. OLSSON, and he's out of Sweden. He is out of Sweden. Interesting. This is Vanessa, and you are welcome. Oh, Vanessa Smith? Oh, my heavens, I didn't realize this, Vanessa. How are you, Queen? I'm going to go on I have to go on my other platform because I was having problem, but I have to he offered the course online, and I really need to get over and learn this course. This is amazing, guys. Amazing. And we can also sign up to get information. Let me just sign up here real quick. Daphne Clarke-Hudson. DY. And we can download this. All right, so thank you guys here. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Subscribe to my newsletter. Connect with me on LinkedIn and also on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning. I hope I will know Vanessa from. Oh, okay. Yes, all right, Vanessa. I'm going over to TikTok now because I know you are on TikTok too. So you can please come over on TikTok with me and go back and listen to this and share the information because it is so good. We have to keep ourselves informed and abreast of all the things that are natural that we can use to enhance our health. So I am super, super excited about this. I will see you on TikTok, Vanessa. All right? All right. See you in a few minutes. All right. I'm heading over.